He's literally power washing his outside furniture right now. The other landscape guys just showed up. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 128. We will be discussing May finished objects, of which there are two. There were three, but the one I didn't like and it didn't fit me, so we're not going to talk about it. But I did three. What am I wearing? I'm wearing Cascade in Cascade 220 in their mint color. I don't know what number it is, but it'll be linked in the description box below. Everything I talk about will be linked below, and if it's not, leave me a comment because I must have forgotten something. First, I want to welcome all my new subscribers, which I didn't do last week because it slipped my mind. But welcome, glad you're here. Tell your friends. I also wanted to say thank you to everyone that left me a comment to choose the color of the ripple crop top that we're making this month, and you guys chose green. So this will be cast on this month after one of my present whips is finished, because it's a test knit and I want to get it done, and then the month is mine to do what I wish. So yeah, today's the last day of May, so it's not even June yet, so I'm not going to start this tomorrow though. Probably Monday, because the weekend I wanted to do one of these in the I looked up how to spell sheepjes. Do you want to hear it? Because I can't pronounce it. There's a reason we call it sheepjes. That the actual pronunciation, I think, is something we don't have in the English language, which is why no one knows how to. Oh my God, there's a Reddit, and it says, I never learned how to pronounce sheepjes, and at this point I'm too afraid to. So this is from Dawn's Days on YouTube. And I think she is right, because she has the accent, I think, that. But anyway, I'm going to try and see if you guys can hear this.
Correct way to pronounce this is scapiers. Scapiers. And if you can't say the SCH sound, the ch sound, then you can also say scapiers. Also good enough.
Scapiers. So we can say scapiers. Scape. Like escape. Scape yours. Yours. Scape yours. Scapiers. Which I thought just was hilarious. I can't do the I can't do any of that kind of I'm trying to think of, obviously English is the only language I know fluently. I did take some French and Spanish classes, but I don't understand. Language is not one of those things that comes easily to me. So I'm very jealous of people that know multiple languages, because I think that's really neat, but I can't, which is okay since I don't like to talk to people anyway. So good. So we're making one of these with this. This, if you remember, I got this at my LYS because I was looking for a replacement of the Cotton Basic that I like so much that was discontinued. And then I went through my stash and found this, the Universal Yarn Inc. Cotton Supreme. This is the DK, but it also comes in a worsted, but the yardage for the worsted is 180, so that's actually the yardage for Aran, and the DK yardage is 230, which is closer to the yardage typically for worsted. I wanted to compare these to see if there is, there is a difference. There is a difference. This is, what is the yardage for this? What I love about this, scapiers, we're going to have to say this like every week until we get it, is this band is tan, which means I can read it. It's not that weird mirrored stuff. So this is double gassed cotton, and I don't remember what that means. I think it means, I did look it up, and I think it means like mercenized, so it's not gonna stretch, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I read it was, but I wanted to give you, because this is 50 grams, 85 meters, so 80 times 2 is 170. So 170 meters. Oh my God. 170 meters is 185 yards. So this is also technically, I think anything under 200. So this is 185 yards per 100 grams, but it's sold in 50 gram balls. So I would say 185, that still puts it on the side of Aran for me. But I'm not sure how, I still haven't done didn't I say I probably wasn't going to make a swatch for this? I'm not wasting time, guys. We have literally nothing to talk about today. So I got 2 projects done. I got 2 whips. That's all I got for today. So we're just kind of filling some time right now. What was I talking about? And I took my iced coffee out of the freezer, because that's how I make it, because it has to have ice in it, or it's not iced. Like, it has to have actual bits of ice. And our ice maker has been broken forever. So, someone's showing the house today. This is our potential new renters. I don't care. What was I saying? So the 230, I think, is still better, because if I'm going to go to one, it's going to be one of these. So I'm going to make a top in this, make one of these in this. If we have leftover of this, we'll make another one of these, and then I can actually do like a side-by-side comparison, see which one I like better. So that's what's coming. I'm probably going to make this on the weekend. And then start the ripple top to keep the phone away from the microphone. Start the ripple crop on Monday, because today's Wednesday, it's the 31st, not even June 1st yet. So, okay. Whips. Need these people to stop talking so loud. Okay, so did I say whips? My first whip is my test knit for Katie DeGroff Knits. This is called the Sandy Cove Cowl. And it's worked like a oh, this is so dark, and I didn't gonna be able to see it. Now her version is done with minis. So if you have a lot of minis or a lot of scraps, this would be a good project. I don't have a lot of minis or scraps. I have a lot of minis, but they're all Halloween, and I didn't want to make them into cowl. I don't know what I want to make them into. Probably a giant shawl, because I have so many of them. but I didn't want to break up 2 sets of 3 sets of Halloween minis to try to make a cow. I was like, this is going to go wrong, and then what if I need that for something? So what I did instead is I had two of these Madeline Tosh Merino Light. This is in the colorway Oscuro, which means darkness, I think. Petroleum Obscuro. I mean, I'm in a mood today, apparently. Oh, I have an update about a dog later. This is 100% merino. This might be, this is really old, so this might be discontinued, seeing as how Jimmy Bean bought them out, and I don't know if this is a line they offer anymore. This is a single ply yarn. I hate it. I hate single ply. Hi, if you're new here. I hate single ply yarn. Oh my god, she's showing more people. Okay. This is 100% merino wool, fingering weight, 420 yards. For, I'm assuming 100 grams. It doesn't actually say. That's weird. Anyway, dyed by hand in Texas from wool ethically sourced in South Africa. So, yes, I have Oscuro, which means, I think, darkness. It's, the monitor was wrong, by the way. I got this out of a D-stash, and the monitor made it look like it was burgundy. It is, in fact, rust-colored. Maybe if I take it away from the yellow, it'll get a better view of the rust. It's a rust color. So it's more of an orange, not a burgundy, and we all know how I feel about that. And I haven't figured out how to... It's like orange and red are so similar. This is similar. That's from Pride and Prejudice, if you don't know, because I say it all the time. This is similar. She says it at the end. Keira Knightley says it to her dad at the end. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Apparently, my brain's happy today. I don't know what happened. Orange and red are so similar that I'm like always wondering how I can take orange, because it's my least favorite color, and move it over to red, and then if I could move it over to burgundy, you know what I mean? Because it's so close to burgundy, and I don't know if there's probably nothing to add to it to make it. Because I know if I had red, I would add yellow to make it more orange, right? But I can't take away. I wonder if I could negate the yellow by like purple. That will be something to think about and possibly experiment with. Only because orange is my least favorite color, and it would, I mean, I can always overdye orange black. It's not a problem. Only in this case, it's a problem because my other color is called Void. And it's black. It's like a tonal black. It's weird because this is a tonal black. They're the same base. Tonal black. This is a rust, but it's like glazed with black. So, two totally different processes. So I'm not sure how, two totally different dye processes. Or dye techniques. So I'm not sure why they are, unless this is a glazed white, maybe? Maybe they just glazed an undyed. That would make more sense to me, I guess. Does not matter. But so, in the version that I'm doing, it is every other color. Every other color is switched. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that I'm switching from the black. So the white is the black, and then the other stuff is this rust color. It looks gorgeous. I'm not even bothered by the tonal, the whiteness coming through the black. Not even bothered by it. It actually, it looks Halloweeny. It looks like witchy. It looks very much my goth aesthetic. So I'm happy with it. It looks almost brown sometimes. So I'm not mad about it. I don't know if I can pull off the color that close to my face. Everything I do is always covered in animal hair. You just cannot get away from it. Anyway, I've got A, B, C. I just started C section. I think we go to G. I don't think I'll have this finished in 2 days. I'm working my butt off to get this done, but it's one of those things where it's not meshing well in my brain yet. And usually stuff just I'll see the pattern. I don't mean the pattern, but I will see a pattern in the design. Okay? Like how I saw the number patterns of these, okay? That's just how my brain is. It picks up on patterns. So because I haven't found because the top starts differently, which is really cool. It starts differently, and then it goes into this thing, and my brain hasn't quite made sense of what's happening with this part of it and the switching, and it's because this messed me up. I got into this pattern, like paid attention to this, and now that was just the beginning. The rest is different, and now I'm like trying to reverse course and start over and go, okay, this is the new one. So I've had to frog a couple of times just because I wasn't paying attention. Some days whatever's wrong with me, I cannot hold attention. I get distracted by the littlest thing, or I'll just keep going and think I know what I'm doing, and like, oh, this is easy, I know what this is, and then I go and I swear to God I did a whole row, and then I looked at it and it was supposed to be patterned, and I had to undo the whole row because I thought it was just knit. I was very mad. My fault, because I'm not going to show you her pattern because I'm testing it, but I'm going to show you a different pattern that is probably free, or one of my patterns. Let's see what I have here. Let's not show that one. Let's show. Okay, here. This is my pattern. This is a pattern for Lola's sweater, which isn't going to be very helpful because I don't really have rows for this. But what I do here is this is Knit Companion. So what I do is when I'm working, they have this highlighter. This is the free version. They have this highlighter. So I put the highlighter above the row I'm doing because sometimes I can't see. When I finish that row, I highlight it. So then I'm working the next row. So that's what I've been doing with this one, and it all works until I forget to actually look at it. And then I forget what row I'm on. It's the worst. It's the worst, and it's only when I cannot concentrate on anything. Which for some reason is recently. Anyway, I love the texture. This is mosaic knitting, so there's slip stitches. Yeah, it's mostly slip stitches, which I love mosaic knitting. It's so easy because then you only work with one color at a time, but then it looks like you're working with more than one color. The only drawback to mosaic knitting, in my opinion, is that it gives you a lot of like geometric shapes instead of other designs. So see, I talked right through a freaking siren and didn't even consider it. I'm just gonna blame the heat. Anyway, my second whip. Oh, this goes in here. I also bought these bags on Amazon to hold, like, crap. Like, I seriously put everything back in here that was supposed to go in here? Like the label, because I'm always missing the labels, right? These are kind of bigger than I wanted, but the ones I bought I didn't like. And these top things, I put them in here while I'm working. And then it fits in my bag. So I bought like 12 of them, I think. And they just go in my bag and hold any notion that I need to have for that project. You can also throw in the measuring tape. Because it started with, I was using this cute one that came with something, and I was just putting my needle toppers in there. And I was like, well, what if I got it a little bit bigger and put in more than needle toppers? Because my cats will run away with needle toppers. And this bag is not very well made. It's falling apart. So I wanted something that I could use. It's not big enough to hold my Chiagu needle things, but that's okay. Those don't need to be in there. But it will hold like this tag that I don't think fits in this one. This one needs a new thing. Again, this is the double layer Bamboo Pop sock double layer hat, which is my own design. It is should be on the pattern page. Should be you can make these in any weight you want with any needle you want. I start with a pinhole cast on and 8 stitches, and then you just go till you reach whatever circumference you need for your head, and then you work even until you need enough to do the decreases and put them to. I've talked about it like a million freaking times. Anyway, this is all I've did like 2 rounds of it this week. When I was watching The Vampire Diaries, which is like one of the worst shows ever made, and I absolutely hate it. I don't know why. I have nothing else to watch at night, and I've watched Supernatural like 15 times. I've literally watched it as many times as there are seasons, because what else do you do during hiatus, right? You rewatch it. And I hated the last season. I don't even watch the very last episode. I watched the second to last episode and leave it at that, because that's the ending I wanted. Anyway. I am a little spitfire today, aren't I? I don't know what my problem is. Who's walking now? Oh, that's still my neighbor. Okay, finished objects, double layer hat. If you've been watching, you already know all about these double layer hats, which it just talks about, but this one we used Willow Yarn's Verbena, which is a sport weight single ply with long color changes. So you get these stripes. And if you recall, mine had a wayward stripe in it. So I don't know what happened here. I probably could have made some cuts and, worked. I actually probably could have just cut out this part, and it would have this blue stripe, and it would have been fine, but I'm not worried about it since the hat can be worn the other way where it looks fine. Just one skein, 100 grams. We used 350. I don't remember. Everything's in the thing. All I remember is the yarn. It's from Willow Yarns. It's a soft yarn. It's a hat, so it's fine on my face. Hat took me forever, and I hated every second of it. Okay. This is my second Neutral Territory by Katie DeGraff Knits, which was my test knit last month, and I had made the colors on that one just what I had in my stash, and I had similar colors in my stash that are more my type of colors, so I made this for me. I didn't even block this one with I did not use pins, I did not use wires, and I usually always am a little bit militant about blocking, especially shawls. I want to block a shawl as big as it can be blocked and then just let it release, settle down on its own. So this, again, like my last one, was done it's in Knit Picks Stroll Tonal, starting with Seashell, which is this tonal pink, light pinks to darker pinks, very, very pretty color. Looks just like you think a seashell would. The second color is Cordial, like a cherry, and it is a dark, it's called Cordial, 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 like a cherry cordial. It's a dark cherry. It's a burgundy with lighter and darker burgundies in it, but I don't know if you can, you can see, yeah, look at that. And then the third color is called a Raven. So you can get a bit here where they are, they're intertwined. They're worked together, but the contrast is so low that you can't really tell. But then here at the end, you can see the Raven worked by itself is this blue, so many different colors, blue, gray, burgundy, pink, like a periwinkle, some black, but just really, I just love the color progression. I think my favorite is it worked together with the cordial. The two of them together, I think, is just gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the two of them work together. I probably should have, no, I think I probably would have run out of red if I did that. So this is, it's hot in here, but this is way more my color palette than the green and blue one. And the way I picked the colors, what I was going to do, I thought it would have looked great with the seashell in the middle, because the seashell is so high contrast to both. But what I want to tell you is when you wear this thing, the color you see most is the two together in that second part. So I really wanted the cordial to be the focus and the Raven to be the second focus. So the pink, you really don't see that much. You can bring out more over here, or you could hide it under if you didn't want to have that much, but you see a little bit in here and a little bit over here, and that's pretty much it, which over here you could even hide with the darker Raven color. I love how it came out. That's the colors I wanted to focus on, but I really think it would have looked cool with the light color in the middle and the dark colors on the sides. I thought that just would have looked great. I cannot praise this pattern enough, especially if you like to make shawls for other people. This is a good size shawl. It's very long. It's wrappable. It stays on. You don't need a shawl pin. You don't need anything to keep this on. It also does not need a heavy blocking because of all the garter in it. I soaked this, spun it out, and then just let it hang on my, I zhuzhed everything. And then I hung it over my clothes dryer, my clothing dryer. It's a stand-up thing to let clothes air dry. I don't know what else to call it. but they collapse, and then you pull them up and pull them out, and they have bars so you can hang stuff. You do know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not sure how to. I feel like I'm missing some important words that maybe goes with that. So I just let it hang over the side. I made sure this point was hanging from the top middle, and then I let them just hang over the side. So this does not need any sort of extra blocking before I press pause and wait for this to go away. I don't want to lose my train of thought, which is this is great for gifting. So great for gifting. It's easy to care for if they want to hand wash it, if they want to machine wash, if they can machine wash the yarn you make. You don't have to put it in the dryer. You just lay it flat to dry. It will be fine. It doesn't need extra blocking. So, and this is full out 100% wool. Did not need any special blocking. So I totally recommend it for gifts. It's such a great pattern. Fits great. Love it. It is $6. But I don't know if she's got any coupons. So totally recommend that, especially if you're a big gift giver for shawls. Yes, Neutral Territory by Katie DeGroff Knits. I don't have any more plans to make another one because I don't have any more gifts, but if I do, probably. Plus, if you use the Knit Pick Stroll, it's not an expensive shawl to make, and the Stroll is the Stroll is pretty soft. I might use Cascade instead because I think it's cheaper. I might go with, well, if you like the Tonal, I would go with the Stroll. But if you want plain, I would go with the Cascade Heritage sock because that is my favorite. I think that's one of the softest affordable sock yarns. But anyway, that's what I got for knit content. So I'm going to take a break and see if this noise clears up because I'm already an hour and a half later than I wanted to be. Anyway, it's 1,000,000 degrees in here. It's now 1:00. It's 81 degrees, which means it's really hot in here. The lawn guys are not finished. They're talking to my neighbor. And one of his friends has come over. So I am assuming it's going to stay loud over there. So I'm going to try to finish up just like this. That is the end of my knitting content. Next week, I do not have a planned topic for the episode. I do have an idea, but that could change at any moment. Also, I wanted to tell you guys that I know you have been, you know that since Deckard passed away a couple months ago that we have been trying to adopt a Chihuahua for Lola and for me, and we're on our third try. Which is like ridiculous to me because I'm in the industry. I foster, I rescue. I've been doing that since 2015. So however many years, 8 years, I've been involved fostering and rescue. And I'm on my third try to adopt a dog. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, if I could go through the rescue that I foster for, I would have no trouble. The problem is she's not high volume. She doesn't go through a lot of dogs per year. And not a lot of them are Chihuahuas. There's been years that we haven't had Chihuahuas. And so that is my last resort. If this one doesn't work, we're just gonna wait, and I'm gonna have her keep a lookout. She's agreed to be a reference on all of my applications. She's like, use me as a reference. That's cool. But it's just, she's a smaller rescue, so she just doesn't have the volume of dogs coming in, which is obviously that's why I work with her, because it's easier. I don't know what else to talk to you about. It's been a very slow week here, and we've mostly been oh my God, I know what I can tell you. Do you guys remember last year I did a whole thing about my favorite tree? My favorite tree that I talk about all the time, because I can see her right here. Well, there's a boy and a girl. There's a girl tree on the bottom, and there's a boy tree. There's two trees growing together. And I know it's a girl and a boy because they had a baby. I don't really know that, but I like to think it. But there are two different trees. I'm trying to remember if there is a boy and a girl tree, because some trees are a boy tree and a girl tree. Anyway, there's one on top of the other, and it's so big now that we can't take it with us. There's no way. And then, so you know what I did? I did the dumbest thing. Because we want to move, right? We're like, let's move. We want to be somewhere with more land and less people. So, who is this now? Oh my God, is he more? Oh my God. Okay. I'm just going to do it because then I have to be done. He's cleaning more of his, how much crap? I don't know. Okay, so my tree. I downloaded one of those apps to tell you, you take a picture of like a leaf or the bark or something, and it identifies the tree, right? And I'm like, oh, this is great because I can plan on getting one, or I can see about how to propagate this one. I don't know if you can propagate trees, or if I can find seeds, or like some way of how do I, because even the baby's too big for us to bring. So I'm like, or I can keep a lookout for another little one growing somewhere around there if it's just gonna drop off and have babies. You guys, it's called a sassafras tree. And at first I was like, that is the best name. It's like sassy, right? No. You know what? It's native to the Americas, from what I understand. I am not an arborist. I'm not a tree expert. This is what I read. And so I can't be held accountable for if the sources were real or not. It was here, and they used it like tobacco and some other plants that was big and like made people money. So the sassafras was like, I think, a tea and a candy and medicinal. Guys, the roots are highly carcinogenic. It was banned by the FDA in like 1979, I want to say. Its use has been banned in this country for anything. You cannot use that tree for anything. It will give you cancer. And I don't know, obviously, I don't think you touch the roots and you're going to get cancer. But I'm like, of course, my favorite tree that I've ever seen in my life, I gave you guys, I named an episode after it. I gave you pictures of how beautiful they are, the two little trees. Well, now the big trees. The color, just from spring, she's this really beautiful green, and then fall, she just goes yellow, orange to burgundy to browns. It's just gorgeous color through the tree. It's just amazing. It is amazing. And I'm like, of course, the only tree I've ever liked is carcinogenic. Cancer tree, of course. Why not? Makes perfect sense to me, doesn't it? That it would just be, here's your tree full of cancer. So needless to say, I've given up the dream of taking this tree with us. I will find a new favorite tree. Something that won't, kill people or animals. I think it's only the roots that are dangerous. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm sweating and it's too hot in here today. We're gonna have to go outside and I moved my umbrella. We're gonna go get under my umbrella because it's so much nicer. Once it hits 80 in here, I can't breathe and it's so hot. And you go out there and put the umbrella up. There's plenty of breeze, plenty of shade, and it's so nice. Still haven't worked. I got a mosquito net. Still can't get that to work, but still gonna try harder later. But for right now, there's no mosquitoes, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, come back next week for whatever I decide to do. I have no idea yet. But I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.